I was like, fuck it. This will be good.
Bam. We're live. I like the Topo Chico and the Minutagua. Yeah, that's good.
Fire.
Contour of the sparkling waters.
Comes from a dirty well in Baja, from Baja, California. Minutagua. I don't know if that's true.
I'm sitting on a Bosu ball right now.
That's what she said.
So alpha.
Is it now 8:30? What the fuck are we doing here? Okay, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. JR, Howell.
Hello. Taylor
the Thumb Self, Matthew Stuza, and me, the CEO. Is this our third programming show?
Thrice.
Third programming show. And this one's going to be a little more broad than just programming. I guess it fits in the programming. We'll be talking about programmers, about Adrian Bozman today. We'll be talking about people who judge programming, a little movement around in the judging. Basically just all this shit I stole from Lauren Khalil's interview with Adrian. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, it's great. Let's switch it up a little bit and
we'll just recap it. This is what you heard of that news from someone with ovaries. Now you're going to hear it from someone with testicles who stole it from the person with ovaries.
Variety.
Right. Yeah. We know some stuff. Do you guys want me to go over some of the stuff we know and then you guys tell me what I'm missing, or do you guys want to talk about what we know about the 2022 CrossFit Games, the test to crown the fittest man and woman on the planet, and some other shit, like adaptive and kids and teams?
You go first.
Okay. We know that the programmer who this is his first year programming, Adrian Bozman, but also one of the most senior people working at CrossFit Inc. today in terms of his longevity and knowledge and culture, which is that part's really important, is Adrian Bozman. And we know he is on the ground now in Madison. We've seen him already start doing interviews from there. There he is. Yep. We know that that there's going to be bikes for the teams, and that has been confirmed. And that in his interview with Lauren Khalil, he said that he could not confirm or deny that individuals will be doing them. Okay, so I'll stop there. They're doing them, right? Individuals are doing them. They're not going to go through the trouble of getting all these bikes and then not have the individuals do them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think they're going to be? So that means you think that they're not going to road bike at all?
No, I think they are going to bike. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. I think the individuals are going to bike.
But
they're going to unicycle.
These look like mountain bikes. So do you think they're going to have two different types of bicycles, or do you think this is the only actual bike they'll be using?
I think this is it. That's the bike. The only bike. That's it. And I think that just because they're mountain bikes, I don't think that means it's not going to be on the road.
Yeah, I think unless they brought back something like a cyclocross, it would be tough to go out to any trail that is going to be wide enough to let people pass.
Yep.
And if they are going to do teams, I'm guessing it has to be a significant ride, meaning 20 minutes or more.
I'd be interested to see what a relay would look like on the bikes. I also think, you look at 2020 and they had the sprint legless with the bicycle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that this year with the mountain bikes. Not
Dude, you nailed it. You're right. I'm a fucking idiot. I was picturing them riding in a pack together. They would never allow them to do that. That would be just that would be madness. You're right. It is a relay.
Yeah. Unless they had a 4-seater bike, 4 people in their own little 4 group of bikers trying to, they would fuck each other up.
Did you see that? Did you see the bike on the that Will Brandstetter made for the games on the Sevan Podcast Instagram?
No.
Have you seen that? This is actually a brilliant idea. This actually could work. Wow. I thought that was completely absurd, but after listening to Taylor speak, I'm thinking that it might not be so absurd. He had to mute it. He had to mute it so she didn't hear any F-bombs.
Well, she could still hear us.
What about that? What about that thing right there?
Yeah, they're gonna pedal with their feet, but they're not gonna pedal. They're gonna stick their feet through the floorboard and propel themselves on the floor, Fred Flintstone style.
like the Flintstones. Okay, what do you think, JR? I think Taylor nailed it. It's a relay, right? They're not going to let these knuckleheads. They're not going to have these knuckleheads riding in like a pack together of 4, unless they want people to have accidents. Unless that's the thing. This year's the blooper reel.
No, I agree 100%. I think if they ever try to do anything tandem, it would be like real water rowing. But I really don't think that.
Get back, kid.
I really don't know that they'll ever even do that. Like on the water rowing with 4 people. I mean, they could, but I think that there's a way better chance of that than them doing anything on a tandem bike. I think relay is for sure what's going to happen.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Real quick, you mentioned the tandem rowing or the in-water rowing. I always thought it would be cool if, and I'm sure that this is out with Dave not programming, but if they did like a Bud style inflatable boat small event where the teams had to carry a boat and paddle a boat and carry it on their heads and just crush them. That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I could see it still happening, although we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so breaking news here. You heard it first. We have insight. We've talked to the right people. The bike event is a relay. There you go. Now you know. Adrian also said this, and I maybe it was just me who misunderstood, but when they said that there was an event that everyone was going to do, I was conflating that. I was thinking that event would be with some sort of new piece of equipment. But after hearing Adrian talk today, it's not definitive, but I think that's 2 different events, because he said, hey, there is an event that everyone's going to do, but there's also an event where the masters get to touch the new equipment. And the way he said it today made me think, oh shit, these are 2 different events.
Yeah, I don't think the event that everyone's going to be able to do is the event with new equipment, because in the show with Coffee, Pods, and Wads, Peter, he mentioned that everyone would be able to do that workout. Like that even Peter at home would potentially be able to do that workout.
Oh, right. Well, after they go to Rogue and buy the equipment.
Maybe.
Go buy the pig.
Yeah, after they buy the yo-yo.
You can't buy a pig. I actually reached out to Rogue and they told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, they said
Really?
you can't
Is it
afford
on
the
their
shipping. We know that Saturday is the big lift day. He reconfirmed that. It sounds like on Lauren Khalil's podcast.
They're going to lift something big. They're going to lift something big, but I would not be surprised if it's not a barbell.
What would it be?
I think they're making such a big deal out of that. And he even said, oh, did you guys see that video? Did you watch it? Cool. That's cool. Like almost just like
trying to throw us off the scent.
We've done a platform lift the past 2 years.
Hey, dude, Adrian loves strongman shit.
Are we really going to do that again? I mean, can't you see something like, think about what they did at Rogue. That was a really big fan favorite when they did 50 loads. So what if they get a 150, a 200, a 250, and a 300-pound sandbag and all those pedestals? That would look sick in the Coliseum. That's the event that's going to cut athletes too. If they did like in the past, snatch speed ladder, clean speed ladder, clean and jerk speed ladder. What if they did a stone load speed ladder?
I like it. And I know Adrian loves strongman stuff. Yep, that's what I was thinking too, Gabe, from Paper Street Coffee. PAPERSTCOFFEE.com. Discount code Sevan, 10% off.
If you guys can pull up the Rogue site, they have rubber coated Atlas stones that you can purchase. So it's a cast, like it's like a concrete stone, but then covering it is like a case of rubber. So they're not D balls. They're more formed like but they're just more.
No shit.
So you think this is the new equipment that they're touching?
Oh. Or that log.
Wow.
I think the big lift is still a barbell. I just think it's something that we haven't seen in a while.
Thruster ladder, maybe.
No, I think I would not be surprised if we saw the overhead squat come back. Gosh, that's a cool event.
Max overhead squat.
Yeah, and they've done it once at 2014 games, and it's been 7, 8 years since that's been done, and then they've done the total twice. How about this? I think
times. Pip Malone tied Annie Thor's daughter for the win in that workout. Am I right? No, maybe Akinwale. Damn. I thought I was going to show off there. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know Rich and Matt
not win the overhead squat?
went back and forth.
Rich and Hackenbrook. What did you say?
Right. Tommy Hackenbrook.
What did you say, JR?
I think Kara might have won that.
2014. Maybe you're right.
Let's see.
Go back to those stones. This is totally off subject. Why would I buy 150-pound that and not a 150-pound D ball? They're so similar, and yet the D ball is so much more forgiving.
Well, if you're training for strongman, you don't ever use a D ball. You use an Atlas stone, so that would make sense. And I guess maybe it would be softer on whatever surface you're lifting it on, or like
maybe
softer on your
forearms, because those concrete stones beat up their forearms. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But...
Interesting. Okay, look, they got a 450-pound one.
Holy fuck.
You hate yourself if you buy that.
That's crazy.
1,200 well spent.
1,200 well spent.
Hey, at that point, that thing's kind of like an art piece.
Yeah, it's just chilling there. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, maybe you could put like couches around it and make it just a centerpiece of like a living room or something.
Taylor, what's the dumbest piece of equipment you ever bought?
I've never bought. I don't have any dumb.
I don't have enough money to buy anything dumb.
Exactly. I bought a handstand ramp from Titan, which is
this hooker when I was in Thailand is the thumb. Okay, well that's not exactly what I meant, Taylor, but thank you. JR, what's the dumbest thing you bought?
I mean, when I use it, probably a Versa Climber.
Oh,
dude, I love that thing though. It's so cool.
So you have it really? Isn't that why? I thought those were like, fantastic metabolic conditioning tools.
They are. I think it's the hardest machine you can do, but it's just miserable after like 5 minutes.
He's also got a Concept 1 rower. It's from like the fucking 50s.
Wow. Is that really what it's called? The Concept 1? No. That's what you call it?
Shit.
Oh, because he has an old Concept 2 and he won't buy a new one.
It's like the wooden. It's like the wooden handle with the open fan. It's crazy.
No.
Fucking prototype. Hey, what do you mean after 5 minutes? After 30 seconds, that thing is heinous.
It's nasty.
And then so for me, the dumbest piece of equipment I bought like 130-pound throw dummy.
Oh wow, that's fucking cool.
But it was stupid. It's like,
how much did it cost?
I don't remember. Too much.
I want him to bring back Rescue Randy.
It was like probably $300 for the doll and $800 for shipping. It was fucking idiocy. And I never used it. It was just too much for me. I was like too much of a pussy. Susan, what's the dumbest piece of equipment you bought?
Probably the Atlas stone molds, and I made a bunch of them and I misjudged the weight. So it started out like 115 and went up, and then realized that nobody in the gym could actually lift that.
Oh shit.
Used them once, like tore up our forearms, tore up our neck, and that was
every
it.
good CrossFit gym owner has got a set of those.
Yeah, now they're just rolled to the back corner of the gym.
Oh, we need these.
Oh, so you still have the stones?
Yeah, we sold some of them during the pandemic because people were buying whatever the hell gym equipment wise. So we sold a couple of them, but now we have the huge one just sitting there still.
Oh, I should have thought about that too. Someone's saying it was a sex doll. That would have been more. Oh, that's a great question. Was it male or female? Mine was gender fluid. My dummy. Mine was gender. It looked more like a girl though. It definitely no cock and no titties, but I think it was gender fluid.
No cock and no titties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Waste of money for sure.
Saturday's big lift day. We're thinking, let's not be naive and think it's going to be a barbell. Coaches and athletes will reevaluate after this. Okay. So here's something he said.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Adrian said, coaches and athletes, I'm going to need you to look up a word here for me, Susan, a second. Coaches and athletes will reevaluate after this game on what they put as a primacy, or what they put primacy on. Coaches and athletes will reevaluate after this games on what they put primacy on. The word is primacy. And I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, that's a strong statement.
Very strong.
That's very strong. So let me ask you this. What do you think they put primacy on now? Like in the broadest sense, conditioning and strength?
I would say strength, probably a base of strength first.
JR?
Yeah, external load strength.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good distinction.
External
weightlifting strength,
as opposed to
gymnastic strength.
Body strength. Primacy, the fact of being primary. Well, no shit.
More
the fact important. Of being, here's what we want: preeminent or more important. Okay. I mean, that's and here on top of that, I want to say this, and this made me think of something that JR said. I don't know if you were giving advice to Adrian, but the one thing you said is like, hey, the best thing for Adrian, I think, correct me, I'm okay being corrected here, JR, is I don't think the one thing Adrian shouldn't do is try to be Dave. He should be himself. But Adrian said this: I'm not Dave, and some people want me to be Dave. I think that's the opposite of what, and then I wrote, I think that's the opposite of what JR said. JR, you agree with Adrian. Adrian's saying, I'm not Dave, and some people want me to be Dave. And your advice to Adrian, I think, or maybe it wasn't advice, was, hey, he should be himself. Like, don't try to be Dave. Was that you said that in one of the shows?
No, it wasn't me that said anything.
All right. Well, I fucked that up. I thought you said, here it is. I thought the exact thing you said is the one thing Boz shouldn't do is try to be Dave. No?
Okay. Yeah, I think that he's obviously really sure and confident of himself, but I think that he will program the first year without training wheels, without worrying about taking risk, and he will put his stamp on his style this year.
I want everyone to know JR has the finest computer and the finest microphones and the ability to have the finest audio, and yet not the ability to set it up.
We were missing a part. I tried to help him earlier. It'll be squared away soon. It'll be,
Hey, can you just have it in there so you look cool?
Yeah, I was going to suggest that. Just have it up. Sick. It'll be fixed next time.
You got to hold it like
yes, thank you. Do you have any thoughts on that, Taylor? On any thoughts on people who are going to try to compare him to Dave? I mean, and I don't blame him. I'm not hating on those people who do it, but do you have any thoughts on it?
I think the result of the games and how people perceive the games, there will always be a comparison between how well he pulls it off and the perception and that people have on how well Dave has pulled it off. So I think that comparison is inevitable. I think in terms of programming, he should for sure. I mean, it's human nature to bias towards your own, tendencies. So and of course he's got a team of people that's keeping him from doing that in a stupid way, but it will look different. And I think it should look different. And he does. Yeah. Just like he says, I think the people that want him to be Dave or want it to stay just like Dave, it's just not how the world works. It's going to look different, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that I just wanted to go back to that statement about coaches and athletes reevaluating what they put primacy on or something along those lines. I think you look in the history of human needs or the hierarchy of human needs, and being able to move your body in space probably comes first before being able to move an external load around your body. And that's interesting that a lot of athletes and coaches don't train that way, where the primary thing that they focus on is being able to move your body through space rather than moving an external load around your body. That's interesting.
Can we see the pyramid? Wow, Ricardo Montalban. Dang.
Oh shit.
Homeboy,
you're not getting a dime of that, JR. You're not getting a fucking dime of that.
PMI Premium Services. I promise you, I will give JR $20 worth of coaching to help him set up. I will give him a discount.
Holy fuck,
dude. Souza can vouch for me. My setup is 100% right now. I just don't have a USB-C to USB converter for my life.
Wow. He had that written down. I saw him read off of some notes. He's like USB.
Go to the Amazon link. He's good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Okay. Thank you, PMI Premium Services. So, but it's a really strong state. It is a really strong statement. It's the first thing I don't think we've seen any signature, anything this strong up until this point. Not in the Open, not in the quarterfinals, not in the semifinals.
I think a couple quotes on Chase's podcast previewing the Last Chance qualifier, saying things like, Do I know where the CrossFit athlete is strong? Yes. Do I know where they're probably less diligent? Yes. And they'll have to contend with that this year at the games, and there will be some bruised egos along the way.
That's a very
pretty strong. That's pretty
strong. I think it's strong. I think it's a clue to this bigger picture. Oh, and this guy, yeah, you guys need to get into a fucking bidding war. Get him, Premium Services.
You have to buy
Fuck that guy.
Luis Lemos. Also on Fantasy Island with Ricardo Montalban. You guys are the best. I seriously mean it. Thank you. It's fucking way cool, you guys. That's related to this, right? But now he's there at the games, right? He's landed and he's like, this is some pretty cocksure shit. Like, hey, this is like everything has changed. Primacy. The preeminent thing that people train after this games is going to need to be reevaluated.
Yeah, I mean, talk about like changing the game or, opening doors to what's really possible in the future. If we get programming like some people think we're going to get, if he's going to come out and say, hey, the way you've all been training the last however many years is wrong, and this is the way you need to be training, this is what you need to be focusing on.
Not wrong, but maybe a missing. He's going to expose a hole.
I think so.
Yeah, a hole.
I think you look at the way
not wrong though, JR, right? Sorry, Taylor. Not wrong. Just like, wrong. Hey, you haven't been swimming.
Yeah, not wrong at all. That's what I was going to elaborate on. As you look at the way the games have been programmed for the past 5 years, and there's only so much evolution you can go in one direction, and he's upholding the unknown and unknowable by potentially introducing a new direction that athletes again aren't as diligent in. And I think that's great, and it's what's needed for the sport to evolve.
And it makes us all excited, right? The haters are like, I can't wait to tear this fucker up, and the fans are like, oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait to see these fuckers fall on their face. Yeah, Mr. Olson, you were the man. Some money for the best coverage of the games. Someone asked us another group of reporters that runs a reporting of the CrossFit Games. Another I don't know what you call it, another media team asked Souza today. So what should we write about you guys? Is what you're going to do for the games? And just tell them we're going to do the best coverage that's out there for the games. All the good shit's going to be right here. And thank you. That's crazy generous. Okay. And if we're not going to beat around the bush, it's gymnastics, right? He's going to, I think you guys said it in the other show. Our weightlifters are as close to the world's best weightlifters as maybe they're going to get in the big chunks. Now it's going to move more slowly. What's the other one? Our metabolic capacity, our running, our swimming, those things we've been working on for years. We're getting closer to those type of modalities. And now it's time for us to get closer to gymnasts, Olympic gymnasts, who we're really far from, right?
Yeah, like this quote in the morning chalk up really goes along with one of the other quotes from that interview with Chase, which was, if I had advice for any aspiring games athlete or their coach, so this is him talking to both again, I would look at the domain where the gap between the best in the world in that specific field and the best of the world in CrossFit, look for the domain where there's the biggest gap. That's where you should be focusing. And this is right along those lines. So he's restating it again.
And you go back to it's pretty obvious, I think. Yeah, gymnastics. We have 3 core domains in CrossFit: MWG. Weightlifting, like you said, we're very close to the top. Monostructural, again, we're pretty close to the top. And gymnastics, it's just not even close. We have people at the semifinal level still failing legless rope climbs for 10 reps in a 10-minute time domain. Yeah, that is an enormous fucking gap. That's bad.
Has there been a shift like this before? like I know there hasn't been a claim like this, but have we seen in the past where something's been introduced that has fundamentally shifted? And which ones stick out in your guys' mind? Like pegboard, there was the dumbbell regional one year. Things got super heavy one year.
I don't think anything is.
Yeah, there may have been some trends for like a year, like at a regionals or a games, but I think Dave always brought it back and switched it up. Like there was a year, maybe the repeat year of the 21-15-9 deadlift box jump. And I think you had like the row pistol hang power clean at 225. Like almost everything at that regional was high power output, pretty heavy. And then the next year, it didn't look like that anymore.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Sorry.
No. You guys
Taylor
are
had a
great.
thought.
I tuned out because someone just sent me something I want to show you guys, and I was just texting back with Kat Shear to make sure it was okay that I show it. This is gonna crack you up. This is off subject, but I think you guys are all gonna love it. This is from Kat Shear of the Clydesdale podcast. Am I pronouncing her last name right? I guess we'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, she should let us know.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show you some people, and you tell me which CrossFit Games. I don't know if you can say they're CrossFit Games athlete. You tell me tell me which athletes these are. This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't even fucking believe this.
I'm nervous.
Okay, here we go.
Oh shit!
James Sprague and Tudor Magda. Wow, pre-puberty.
James Sprague, and we're in the team boys 14, 15-year-old division.
Oh.
Testosterone is a great thing.
Can you hear them? What they're saying?
Like,
Someone what?
No, they're the 14, 15-year-old division.
Yeah, and then someone said, who's better? Whoa, was James just busting a move right there? What did he just do with his hips and his hands right there? What's James
he struck
doing?
A pose. He struck
look
a pose.
James looks like he could be a female with a really short haircut.
He was 14. Look at him.
God, he's a cute little girl.
Like
God, he's pretty.
With their hair dyed black.
Man. Holy cow. If you're 14 or 15,
hilarious.
wow, that is amazing. Thank you, Kat. The Clydesdale podcast. Incredible. Wow.
It is hilarious how many athletes went and posted videos of them doing parallel L-sit to press to handstand videos. Noah, Ricky, fuckload.
JR kept a count.
Angelo. Who else? Yeah, none of them tagged. Fuckers. My idea.
I think someone sent me James, Christian Harris. Yeah, there were a lot, which is also really cool to speak to. I mean, we didn't get to see videos of them failing over and over if there was that content. But the fact that people look around and don't want to feel like they're behind or being left out, and that they'll maybe try a skill like that for the first time and within a day can do multiple reps is so impressive.
That's
and
crazy.
It may even give more legitimacy to the fact that if they brought something like this out, Boz is like, no, guys, like people are very capable of stuff like this.
I agree.
Run fast.
I didn't just flex for JR. I was scratching my armpit. Now I'm flexing.
JR's flexing on us.
So most of the names you're going to hear today, by the way, it's a very impressive crew of people they have working on the games. One of the names I heard coming out of Adrian's mouth, and these are people who've been there a long time. So we'll keep moving with some of my notes here. Chuck Carswell is now the head judge for individuals. That's the first time I've heard that. Chuck Carswell is replacing Adrian Bozman as the head judge. He is now the official no rep guy. No rep.
He's the shit. Chuck's my boss is really close with Chuck. They played on the Dolphins together.
Chuck is a very, very special human being. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him, but on top of that, but he's not like some pushover, overly the top nice guy. He's do you know him, JR? You know Chuck Carswell?
Yeah, I met him at the games last year.
Great dude. Taught 1,000 fucking L1s. Who knows? He's a flow master, and for those of you who don't know flow master, that means you're of all the L1s, you're at the top of the heap. You make sure that the L1 is rolling properly. They're special human beings. They basically carry the DNA of CrossFit in them. And he used to be the head judge for the teams. I'm guessing that being the head judge for individuals has got to be easier than teams. Teams seems like must be just a shit show. And then Todd Widman will take. I think Todd used to do age qualifiers, but now Todd's coming up to teams. Todd Widman. I think he's also the guy. By the way, so many of you have been asking me how to get that manual for CrossFit Kids. I don't know how to get that. People have been sending me one, and that's not the one I'm talking about. There's one that has a training plan that's just like the most detailed, incredible training plan. I'll look for it. And I'll ask around. I'll email or text Nicole Carroll and ask her how I can direct people to it. And then it sounds like Eric Preston and Eric O'Connor, two other like superstars. Eric O'Connor might be the most tenured L1 staff in CrossFit history, meaning he's taught more L1s than anyone in the history of CrossFit, and they're going to be doing the age group. And Preston's just been around forever, and I believe Preston also runs the CrossFit training Instagram. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. And then Kevin Ogar will be doing the adaptive division. Everyone knows who that is. Been around forever. Great dude. I produced a movie about him. Fantastic gentleman. Had him on this podcast and the CrossFit podcast. I think this podcast. I'm trying to get him on again in the next few days here. He's running the adaptive division along with some guy that I never heard of. Zirkenbach. Zirken something. Don't know who that is. And then okay, we'll get to that. So those are the teams who are judging. I found that interesting. I got that also from the Lauren Khalil podcast that had Patrick Clark on it also. Adrian talked about programming a first pass and then and then showing it to his team. I don't know if I believe that, but I'll give it to him. Okay.
What do you mean? Believe what? Believe what?
I don't know what that means. Do a first pass and then give it to his team.
How else would he do it?
I mean, it's not, but you're right. That's not that I don't believe him. I just don't know how significant that is. This is his fucking creation. We'll get to it. Hold that thought. Adrian said Justin helps a little bit, but if I interpret his tone and what he said, I'm going to think that Adrian, that was just a politically correct answer. I'm guessing that Justin helps.
Politics.
Yeah, just 0 on the programming, unless it's something that has to do with
like logistics of the broadcast. Or
yes,
something.
yes, something like that.
Or are they going to afford it? Whatever.
Yes. There is a guy that no one ever talks about, and whenever we would do the testing, it would be Dave and it would be Adrian, and then there was always, and then I would do the filming, and then there would be one other guy there always. And this guy's name was Lucas Zepeda.
Yeah, I met him last year.
You did, yeah. And he's always there. And he has this book. And it's a journal. And in that journal is where all the fucking data about the workouts when they're tested are written down. The split times, who did it, notes, it's everything. And this thing's crazy. And I'd be like, dude, do you fucking lock that thing in a safe at night? He's like, nope, just throw it on my bed. I'm like, man. And this dude's very quiet. He makes JR look like a chatterbox.
He's a cool cat. He does not say
so
much.
Cool, so chill.
Is this him?
Yeah,
yep,
there he is.
Him.
There he is.
He flies under the radar. He's like a stealth fighter pilot.
Yes, that interestingly enough, that's one of the guys. That's like,
oh shit, we just uncovered somebody here.
Yeah. So I don't know what role. I'm guessing that Lucas Zepeda is sort of the new Adrian Bozman now.
In terms of programming?
Yeah, just there's a point where as they're at the testing thing, Dave and Adrian would just be basically sitting next to each other the whole time, and just like they make grunting sounds at each other and look at each other as people go up and down the ropes and do cleans, and then they'll look at each other and they'll be like, okay, stop. Get out of here. Well, you know, Taylor. Yeah, you experienced it firsthand. And so you saw that. Who was there when you were there? Was it him? Was it Lucas?
Lucas Zepeda, Adrian Bozman, Todd Widman.
Oh, Justin. Todd was there.
Yep. Justin stopped in for a day. I
believe.
Berg. Is that classified? Did I?
No. I don't know. No, it's not classified.
Fuck. It was Todd and Boz were there. Lucas was like seemed to me to be Dave's right hand man to a degree.
Yeah. I mean, he does it. He's kind of, yeah. Taylor's praying for this gymnastics change because he's so weak. Wow.
Shots
wow.
That guy's arm was Taylor? Huge.
Huh? What? rebuttal?
Do you know who that is?
No, do you know who that
is?
274.
Dude, look at his
That looks like
biceps.
looks like one of those fake porn like commenters.
His arm doesn't look fake.
That $9 is real.
I wonder what his snap is. $9 is real. Wipe your fucking ass with that money.
So that keep your eye on that guy. Keep your eye on Lucas, and if anyone can get Lucas drunk at the bar and get the journal, get it. There was this one issue that Lauren Khalil was kept pushing, and I don't know if she was trying to be funny or cute, but I don't think it has any real relevance. She said that the demo team is picked on their skill set, based on the fact of what needs to be tested, and the fact that they picked Royce and that they replaced him with Raleigh. Does that mean that there's going to be something super heavy that needs to be tested? And I don't think it works like that. I think it's more like all those people are basically picked for their character. So.
Character is definitely important, but skill set for sure comes into play.
Oh, they all, but they all have enough skill set. I mean, look at that dude with the bandana on. Who the fuck is that? If that guy can go, know it's character. Mitchell Peterson.
Very good.
Oh,
he's a long time regional athlete.
Sean Joswiak, Sean. Thank you,
Sean.
And I'll give you a final. What you would take you take a stab at it, Mr. JR. Who is that? That guy's name?
Yazwak.
Cockwhack.
Damn, I wish I had said that.
Hey, send me that $9.99.
Oh, and the winner.
That might make the ZW might make a K like
no shit. You're going too far.
Like
Jokak. Sean Jokak.
Sean Joswiak, I bet it is.
So you do lean on the side of what Lauren Khalil is saying. You think that there is some picking based on their skill set?
I don't think you need to read into it too much. There's something heavy at the games every year.
Right.
Like, fucking shocker.
Pipe down, Lauren. Pipe down.
Shocker, we're gonna lift.
Yeah.
But I do think that those athletes, you have to look at it this way. Those athletes, none of them made it to the games, and they all didn't make it to the games for a reason. They had a hole somewhere. And so I'm sure that when they're selecting those athletes, they take into account what they're really good at and what they're not great at.
Give us a flex, JR.
Heidi, shut up. We don't want to see.
I just like
to keep him from coming on the show.
Just like these just random. It's just like JR's just sitting on stage and people just throw shit at him.
Roses.
Yeah,
throwing roses.
Yeah, throwing roses.
Mad props for the yokedness.
I did hear that Roy showed up at the airport with an exemption, COVID test. His BLM fees were paid up. His LGBTQ payments were all up to date, and he still wasn't allowed in. So I don't know. Oh, he didn't have the injection that's causing an increase in sudden deaths across the planet. He didn't have that. Okay, so Royce didn't get to come.
He's a stand-up guy. I like him for that.
Did you ask Laura about that, Sevan, on her show?
I text Royce and I said, hey, how'd you get in last year? She also asked him the same thing. She was very thorough. Man, she's good. And he said last year you didn't need it. They didn't have it quite in place yet. You just needed like a COVID test. I want to say he got a PCR test, but for this time, and he got some other. What's a blood test? Serum? Were you nursed? Serum test? SERUM? Is that a word? He said he got that test too. And he had COVID. So he's got the fucking antibodies. It's insane that he's not allowed in this country. Anthony, this isn't OnlyFans. We'll refund you your $2, but thank you.
It's gonna cost a lot more than $2, bro. Come on.
Antigen, was it a semen test? No, not a semen. No, Christy, no. Sir, yeah, maybe it's that. Thank you. The guy with the dreads. Serum.
Who's testing his semen?
Getting thorough. I'll be watching.
Oh man.
I want a Royce Dunn jersey. I know that'd be cool. Brought to you by Natural Immunity. Wow. Adrian did say this. This is a really good sign. They asked him, what's your most favorite part about the job? Thought it was a cheese dick question, but what do I know? And then because she got a great answer, he said, I love the creative freedom and I like thinking big.
That's a good sign.
You like that, JR?
Yeah, he said, if I remember correctly, we want to make it as big as we possibly can, and we want to be told that it's not possible for this year so that we can wait and maybe do it another year. Like, that's the goal, to make it as big and as sexy as possible.
Taylor?
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, it's so rare. I mean, that's what's most missing in our culture and in society is creativity and people who can think critically and who can have a vision like that. And they're special people. And so that's really cool. It's exciting and it's good news for the sport.
Do you have a thought about where it's going? It could be changed from creativity to gimmicky? Like, is there a point where it could be it turns into I don't know what that show is, the ninja show. What's the ninja show? What
Ninja Warrior?
Ninja Warrior, yeah.
I think CrossFit, the company and the people who work there are hypersensitive to the word gimmicky. And so I don't think it'll go there.
Oh, good.
Like the tech CEOs or
no, like people like Boz. I think people like yeah, not them. I think people like Boz and people like Dave and people like Chuck and Todd Widman are used to that old school, people shitting on kipping pull-ups and people shitting on handstand walking. And so they're potentially hypersensitive to gimmicky.
I think they are. I think for them, they'll always tie back to the methodology. The core of the programming will always tie back to the methodology, especially people like Boz and Chuck Carswell there. And that's the most important, because once it goes gimmicky, I think bigger picture, you lose the link to CrossFit altogether, right? Like the methodology and everything else. So
then you
get Grid League.
Can you do us a favor and go into YouTube and type in virtual shoveling and pull up a video from CrossFit and pull this up and tell me what you guys think?
I just sent Brian a link. You're going to send, do you guys know, is his name Lazar or?
Lazar. Laser. Just fucking go by Laser. I want him to go by Laser. That is sick. Laser
Đukić?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to go for that.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I did get the pronunciation on Cat's name. Cat Shear. Sounds like a musician.
Yeah, Grid League is super gimmicky and cringe to watch. Like burpee pistols.
Virtual.
Really?
Pull this up, dude. This is fucking OG.
I thought the burpee pistols were cool, but fucking I'm kind of gimmicky.
This is CrossFit. My coach sent this to me. I didn't even know this existed. And you know what he said? He's like, yeah, I've only been doing CrossFit since you were 6 years old.
Oh, that's fine. Let me see if I can cue it up too.
There go my notes, JR. You better have something to push this show through for the next 17 minutes. Don't let
this will push it through. Check this shit out. Dude. Boom. This is posted by CrossFit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Greg's old gym.
Yeah.
Dude, how is that Greg in the background?
I don't.
No.
No,
that's some other old dude with hair.
She's like lifting it over a squat rack. I don't
Virtual shoveling 2022 CrossFit Games is.
Oh, that would be awesome if they did that. I hope they do that.
Dude, how crazy would that be?
Oh,
how did you remember seeing that?
Wow.
No, my coach sent it to me.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, from CrossFit 10 years ago.
So you guys were talking about, well, someone in the comments mentioned Grid, and you guys talked about some of the movements that they do. And then this is maybe a rabbit hole question. Maybe Sevan can shed some light. Back when Grid started and Tony branched off and he left CrossFit, and there were movements that maybe he always thought would be cool at the games, like a front uprise or a back uprise on the rings that people would say didn't count, like butterfly muscle ups and stuff like that. Were there some things that you think maybe Dave wanted to explore in the realm of body weight, but that he never would do it because Tony decided to do that stuff in Grid?
Wow. Before you said that last part, I was going to be like, no. I mean, Tony was really involved in the programming in the sense of relative to anyone else. Like Dave really worked with Tony in a way, and he didn't have to, but he really worked closely with Tony. Like him and Tony like talked, and they had shit out. They were very different people, and they would have it out. That was the first time I realized like you could fight with someone and like it'd be okay. Like, you know, I didn't know you could fight with someone and still be their friend. And they would fight it out a lot. And but I think early on, Dave wanted to keep. I think Dave is a bit of a purist, but I also know that Dave does enjoy being unique. So you kind of got me with that last line. Like if he did, I want to say no, but you're on to something. If there was something that the Grid League did that Dave did like, he's not going to tell you. You know what I mean? He's not going to do it. He does enjoy being original, but he really doesn't like gimmicky.
And that's what I was leaning towards what you said at first, the fuck no, because I just look at the movements that they do in Grid and I'm like, God, it just doesn't look even that fun to watch. It looks like they're spasming around like a fish flopped up onto the dock, and then
David, Nicole, and Tony were the inner circle, and I was on the outside until about a year before Tony left. I mean, they were like the siblings. Like I was kind of close, but I wasn't stupid. I mean, I was 99% there, but I wasn't whole. I wasn't one of the kids. I didn't have my adoption paper. I didn't have my paperwork. Like if Greg were to call people for advice, like I wasn't in that group yet. They were close. Caller, hi.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Thanks for being patient.
Hey, you know what? I love to hear you talk.
Oh,
I got a question for Taylor. And
hey, I'm going to give you my wife's phone number when we're done here so you can text her, okay? Just tell her
yeah,
that.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, JR and Taylor, speaking of gimmicky, I was talking to some people at the gym, and do you think this movement would be gimmicky? I have yet to see it in any type of like event. It's more for the teams. It'd be like worm box step ups, like all maybe 20 inches or 24 inches. But I feel like that's another variation of the worm that we just haven't seen yet. And is it gimmicky, or is it something that could have a part in the CrossFit Games? Thank you.
Great question.
First instinct is not gimmicky, but potentially dangerous.
Exactly. Hey,
but at the same time, they want the athletes to compete safely, but they're also not trying to put them in a rubber padded room. But I think that can be, I don't know. When I say dangerous, I think of the cargo net and like, well, if anything's dangerous, that is. But I like that. That's a cool idea. A worm box step up as a team.
What about if the event were still in Carson and you had to carry a worm up over the
berm? The
berm.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Coming down those stairs could be hairy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, it's that is the ultimate sign of teamwork. And if it gets sketchy, you drop the fucking worm.
How'd you lose your tooth carrying the worm downstairs?
I'm sure they would brief that in the workout if something like that did come up. It's like, look, if you guys are getting sketchy, you put the worm down. I don't know. That's interesting. I like that. Worm box.
Yeah. No one's doing that, right? Go ahead, JR.
I don't know if they'd ever do it, but they could run a mile for time as a team carrying the worm, just like a sandbag carry.
Yeah, worm run. I like that a lot. That's cool.
Or JR, Taylor even said it in the beginning of the show. I think he said it would be cool. I think out in the first minute or two, put a boat over the people's head.
I love that idea. It is so military. IBS run. Fuck you. That's
what's
hard.
that stand? What's that stand for? IBS run.
Inflatable boat small.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's old shitty military bubble boat.
Any other, since we did the programming show last week, anything evolved for you guys? Any thoughts? Any clues? And it sounds like tomorrow is going to be a big day. Adrian said tomorrow is going to be a big day. Are we going to go live tomorrow at some point?
Yeah. So he said he didn't even say that they would have the complete test that everyone will perform. He just said more details about it would be released. So that may lead into even more speculation and not just, okay, let's evaluate this and see what the best times are going to be or what the best whatever is going to be.
I'm looking at the schedule. Are you guys both on the draft show tomorrow?
Yep.
You know, we could do a show at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
07. I don't know that I'll be back in time, but I'll jump on if you guys go on.
Okay.
Irritable bowel syndrome. What does IBS stand for?
Oh, right.
Irritable bowel syndrome run.
That's fact.
That's funny.
That is funny.
What
I text with that girl, Trina, what's her name? Man, she's got a wild sense of humor. She's got a really good sense of humor. Very good. Okay. We have Lazar's coming on in 9 minutes. Is there anything else, any other insights into the programming? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anyone?
I'm very excited and interested to see what that shift in what athletes and coaches put first and emphasize in their training. I mean, that's just such a bold statement. And I don't remember hearing anything like that in recent memory from Dave. So we will see.
And since you have a self-made training program, I mean, people like you, Mayhem, HWPO, CompTrain, they will have to change their programming based on what we see. It's like no one did chest to bar pull-ups before it was at the games.
I do a lot of strict gymnastic stuff.
Already.
Well, it's just good. It's really good for your body and strength. And that's where a lot of athletes are weak, is strict pulling, strict pressing.
Can you pull up the pyramid, Souza?
Mm-hmm.
Gymnastics is underneath weightlifting. That is for
and
certain.
Yeah, and it's Greg Glassman's background, and Adrian has a ton of time around Greg Glassman. And if anyone can rock the OG shirt, it sure as hell is Adrian. So you got nutrition.
Oh, fucking hot dog eating contest.
I don't know if that fits.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and throwing's in there too. Don't think Adrian won't do that. Don't think he won't be like, fuck you, I don't care if you guys think it's dumb. I'm gonna do it. He's not afraid. Corey, hi.
What's up?
Hi.
So can we not talk about triple touches or double touches as the next natural evolution of the bar movement? We really haven't seen any kind of advancement since toes to bar, chest to bar, and bar muscle up. So wouldn't double touches or triple touches from the grid league be a good body weight movement to add in?
What is a double touch and a triple touch?
Like a toe to bar, chest to bar, or a toe to bar, chest to bar, bar muscle up? Is that the triple? I don't think that has any place in the CrossFit space.
Yeah, he walking the line and gimmicky there.
I think if they're looking to evolve an upper body pull, it is volume and legless, volume and pegboards, and strict pulling.
Corey, why do you like that? Why do you like that?
Just because I think it's visually appealing for like the crowd. Like people are really, if you are watching Grid League, that's one of the most exciting things that you see other than doing like burpee back tucks and stuff like that, which I think is never going to come to CrossFit. But if we're talking about evolution of gymnastics, I mean, other than strict any of those movements, what all can you really do more on the bar?
So bear with me here. So, okay, here we go. So this is, wow. Okay. I see. Wow. That's intense.
I
don't know if you can see this, Corey. They're showing someone doing a toes to bar and a chest to bar, like alternating between them.
I think we go back to what
would be. You just add a bar muscle up into the end of that.
I think you have to go back to what JR asked about that, and the fact that Grid did it first. I just don't see.
I could see,
and I'm okay with that.
I could see think about how often it's been programmed in 20 years, and think about how many hero workouts have them. I could see them doing an L pull-up before they do something like that.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
The tough
go back
thing
to
is
the
how do you
basics.
judge an L pull-up?
Right.
Do you judge toe above hip crease or knee above hip crease? But then it's just you can put them in a tuck position, so it'd have to be toe above hip crease. Fuck.
Corey, can you do that right there? Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
That could be why they probably never brought back inverted ring handstand push-ups either, because it was just wrecked everybody and it was too hard to judge.
Oh God, and talk about not visually pleasing.
People fucking hated that.
Look like that thing was this. Corey, do you compete in Grid League?
Absolutely not. I'm hardcore intermediate CrossFit.
Hardcore, okay, awesome. Intermediate. And where are you out of?
East Tennessee.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for calling. Good question. Thank you.
Yeah, always appreciate your show. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Pleasant calls.
Yeah,
I think the evolution in gymnastics pulling is in the rope climb realm, the strict pull-up realm, or the pegboard realm. And then down the road, or potentially this year, some form of climbing on a wall.
I do think that if you want to make stuff visually pleasing, I think 30, 40, I don't know, ropes. Yeah.
Yeah. You
high
make
ropes.
Dude, that's why I think ropes
are cool.
I feel in my heart that some form of rock climbing has its place at the games. It is so fucking cool to watch in an obstacle course style of event. It's just it's a natural human movement.
Yeah. So we talked about on the last show, main site programmed seated or L-sit rope climbs, 1 to 15 feet, 1 to 10 feet in the last couple months of programming. And while I find it kind of odd to see them like transitioning and then going to sit down and then to start doing something, if they brought back something like skills, that's something they could do for like a max 2 minute, where you start in a seated position, you climb to 10 feet, touch, come back down, butt touches, go right back up and do that. And you do that as like a max reps movement. Or you could do something that I'm pretty sure Filthy 150 did 3 years ago, maybe. You could kind of think of them as a 2-for-1 rope climb. So you climb up to 15 feet, you touch, and then when you descend, you have a tape line that is before you get to the ground. And then once you hit that line, you go right back up. So it's essentially like doing 2 rope climbs in one without coming to the ground. You have to stay on the rope. And if you can't the rope that long, then it doesn't count. So instead of just making the rope higher and higher, which is just kind of gets more and more dangerous, you just have them go up, come down 3/4 of the way, go right back up again.
Wow. Have you ever programmed that? Have either of you ever programmed that in your gyms?
I've done them a lot. It's a great way to train legless.
And a lot of people you will see in training programs will say control the descent on a legless rope climb. So you'll go up and then you'll come down the exact same way. You won't slide down. You won't let go. You'll control all the way to the bottom. And it's just a way to continue to load the muscle group on the way down.
Yeah. But for driving the capacity on a legless rope climb, doing touch and go legless, there's not a lot that's better than that.
I don't think Dave would have ever put rock climbing in the games, although there is a shitload of rock climbing equipment, and he was a very accomplished rock climber. Taylor, JR, thanks for coming on. Fantastic show. Good stuff. I'm glad we were able to piggyback and get an hour's worth of content out of Lauren Khalil's show. Good stuff. We will see you guys soon. I'll be in touch with you guys in the morning. I'm excited for tomorrow's draft. Sleep well. You want to say bye? Okay. You said bye.
Guys.
I said okay, and he says bye. Okay.
Oh, he gave us a flex. He was gonna flex. Get these studs in here. Drop me out.
What's up, guys?
You are you at the you look like you're in like one of those rooms where like you're interviewed, like if you've been the police got you. What's that called? Where are you?
I'm in some business room in hotel.
Oh, okay. Oh, do you have a roommate?
Well, my girlfriend is my roommate.
Oh, okay. Look at you. You're a good dude coming out. Your girlfriend lives in Paris.
Strasbourg, but yeah, France. You were close.
Okay, and is this the first year she's come to see you compete?
At the games, yes.
Holy cow! Look at you. Wow. Hey, did you tell her that like any minute now you're going to change into a different person? Like, does she know?
I think I'm the same all the time. But
all right.
Yeah.
All right. We had Dallin on yesterday, and I was like, what was it like the first time you took your wife to an event? And he says, well, I just don't talk. So at first she was like, is everything okay? He's like, but you're the same guy, huh?
Yep, I'm the same. Like maybe I'm a little bit more stressed, but I try to like keep it light and just good vibes. And yeah.
You had Lazar. Pronounce your name for me. Lazar.
Well, however you want, but Lazar is what they call me in Serbia. So,
Lazar.
Yeah. So in US they usually go Lazar, like second A is longer. Yeah. In Serbia, it's like first one is a bit longer.
I'll be honest. I know what's right and wrong, and I still say it wrong.
Whatever.
It's so much more natural with the flow of the language.
I was listening to the podcast when the guys before me were on, and they said Lazar, so I rolled with that also. So whatever.
He's easy going.
And the last name is Đukić.
Yep. Nice.
Is Luka Đukić also in Madison?
No, he's home.
Did he think about coming?
No, because there's a lot of competitions in Europe in the off season, and the main one for him right now will be Madrid, and he's preparing for that. I will be in my off season competing in that competition, and that will be his main competition of the year. So it's gonna be fun.
Where have you been the last 3 months?
Well, 2 of those 3 months I was in Serbia, and then last month I'm here in Cookeville, Tennessee.
And when we spoke to you last, you had a pretty, I think it was you had a pretty austere training condition. The barn you trained in could have some like temperatures that get really hot and really cold. Are you still in that same spot?
Yeah, I'm still in my garage gym. So, yep, I still train there when I'm home, and works for me.
And did you know you would come a month before to train in Cookeville the whole time?
Yeah.
Is that the plan all year?
Yeah, that was the plan. Also, when you're a Mayhem athlete, if you qualify for the CrossFit Games, they invite you to come 1 month early and join the group there. So,
and it's a pretty big international group this year.
Right now, it's crazy big. Like there's probably I think I posted a story a couple of days ago that at one moment there was 11 individual CrossFit Games athlete training at the same time in the bar.
But it's not just the number. There's a girl from Africa. Kara came from Australia. You got you and at least you and Uldis from Europe.
Baden Brown is now here.
Baden Brown, Sung-Young Choi. You obviously got Guy from South America. So like
Guy, Victoria.
Every continent is covered.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's the European continent, the Asian continent, the South American continent, obviously the North American continent,
Australia,
Africa,
and
Australia. Holy shit!
Every one of them.
Yeah, we have also a team from Australia there with all 3 teams of Mayhem. So they've been throwing down last couple of weekends. I heard Freedom didn't lose a single event.
Wait, who didn't lose a single event?
He's saying
Mayhem
the 3
Freedom.
The 3 Mayhem teams plus 1 team from Australia have been doing a little. They've been working out together.
Yeah, on the weekends they did kind of game simulation 2 times, 2 weekends in a row.
Wow, who runs that? Who runs that? Who's
Rich?
Maybe you've heard of it.
But Rich is competing in it, isn't he? Does someone else run it? Like does Rory run it, or Ellie run it, or Tasia run it, or?
No, it's just like a friendly. Like they will just like let's come at this new facility, Mayhem athlete facility at 9, and they would just like program and throw down with each other all day.
What are the elements that make it that you think that all these people show up a month early? What do you think is there? Is it the equipment, the spirit, the coaching, why there?
The sightseeing in the area?
Well,
yeah.
I can
hanging out with the cows.
I can tell you from my experience from last year and this year. So last year I was training alone, preparing for the games. I was doing like crazy amount of work alone, but mentally I was very, very like on the edge. I cried during some workouts, and it was like so painful. It was so mentally draining to do it by myself. And then this year, the physical state was the same. I was tired all the time. I was like not feeling good, but I was training with, since I came, I started with Haley, Spencer, then Uldis came, Baden. I was training also with Guy. We did some training. With Rich also and with the teams. But the physical state was the same, but mentally, when I see everybody else doing the work, I'm like, I'm gonna do even more, and I'm gonna like try to like keep up with everybody and just have fun and train like crazy. Yeah, and mentally it was much easier this year because there were so many people around there that are doing the same thing. Last year I was alone, and it was just not fun.
Lazar, what place did you take in the games last year?
9th.
And that's your rookie year?
Yeah, I was best male rookie, but nobody counts that.
Incredible. Congratulations.
We knew it. Coming into the last day, it was going to be really close between you and Mal O'Brien to see which of the rookies would finish higher. And you got by a couple spots, but we knew who you were.
She was 7th. I remember watching the last event. I'm like, please, I want to be rookie of the year. And then she smashed it, you know.
When you were at the games last year, so this is fascinating to me. I'm trying to think if I've seen people cry during CrossFit workouts, you know, just like at affiliates or just like you're working out. I've seen people cry. And there's a pretty famous video of Nicole Carroll crying, a couple of them from back in the day. I think she's doing Linda and she starts crying. And I think in, what's the other famous word? Nasty Girls. I think she cries.
I saw Brooke Wells, Cole, and Catherine during that comp train video. They cried. So yeah.
All three of them cried.
Yeah, I don't think Cole cried, but he was like screaming or something. But I remember, like girls were crying.
and I've been on the floor at the CrossFit Games as the final event. I don't think people realize how emotional it is. When you were at the games last year, did you sense the insane emotional roller coaster?
Well, just at the last event, I felt tremendous relief.
When it was over?
When it was over, like I was watching. We were like sitting all men except Justin. Justin, he was called to be announced fittest man on earth, and like 9 of us were sitting there. It was kind of like I wanted to be there, but at the same time, I'm happy with what I did. So it was like happiness and like disappointment, and like at the same time, it was just like emotional, like really emotional.
It's an accomplishment in an essence to finish the games.
Definitely.
Every year there's people that make it there and don't finish.
But not throughout. So, but it is a lot of ups and downs throughout, right? I mean, like after the first day, after the second day, after the third day. I mean, and you had a tremendous showing.
So for me, like the biggest emotional roller coaster was probably Saturday on Sunday. So Saturday was all the cuts were done, I think. Then we had running event, then we have pegs, then we have lifting, then we had lifting. I won the running, then I placed second, which should have been first at the peg, and I placed like 16th, at the snatch, but I did my current PR at that moment, which was like, I was pretty happy with how I did that day. And then the next day started with yoke, and I finished 18th out of 20 people. I started screaming in the backstage, like, and Luca was just like, calm down, there's more to do. So yeah, just like from happiness to complete anger in a event.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you take this year to work on the yoke?
Yeah.
And how do you do that if you train in your? Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just. Are you pretty confident it was the yoke in that workout and it wasn't the?
Well, I know like my core was strong at that time. Just my GHG cycling was not that fast, and I tried to keep up with the cycling with everybody else. And burpees were kind of okay. And then I just came to the yoke broken from the GHDs that I tried to sprint. If I went slower on the GHDs, it would make 5 seconds difference, but it would made much more sense to go to the yoke with not broken core. So it was kind of mix of not having a yoke and trying to run on other people's pace.
What did you think, Brian? Do you think it was something besides the yoke from what you saw?
I mean, I wasn't sure. It's event 13. Like they've already gone through a lot of work. And the day before they did a long running with 90 toes to bar. They did some overhead squats. He PR'd his snatch. Like his core was, it was like what he trains for is that his core is as good as can be on the morning of day 4. But first year at the games, like you've never done a competition with 13 events that are that difficult against that good of a field. So it could be a variety of things, but still obviously going to be motivating to work on all of them coming out of that.
Well, you asked Sevan, how do I work on yoke when I don't have it in my garage gym?
Yeah.
So I basically lived between France and Serbia. So Anya is living in France, and she has a crazy good box there, CrossFit Nero, Strasbourg. And they have everything, all of the equipment, basically.
Tell me the name of it again. CrossFit what?
CrossFit Nero, Strasbourg.
Spell it for me.
NEROSTRZ. I don't know.
Let's see what happens. No,
without Z. Delete the Z, put the A.
Let's see. I wonder if I just CrossFit Nasty.
No, NERO. Nero.
Yeah, I try, but Google just wants to give me CrossFit Santa Cruz. These assholes. Oh, okay. I see it. Narrow CrossFit Strasbourg. I got it. At least, I mean, I got their Instagram.
That's them.
Okay.
Yep. Good people.
It's interesting that she has such a good box near her too. When I visited Paris, I don't know how long ago on a CrossFit trip, there were so few CrossFit gyms, and now I think there's like 900 in France or something crazy like that.
Well, France overtook Brazil this year for most affiliates. So, yeah.
Do you have any good training partners there?
I have people. I have like group of guys that train with me, and some girls when I'm there. They're not like games level athletes, but they're good athletes, so they keep me company. I have this young guy, Manu, who is like trying to keep up whenever I'm there, so he gets crushed.
Do you speak French?
No, I can understand a bit, but I still can't speak.
So you guys speak English to each other when you talk?
Where?
When you're in France, they speak English?
They speak English with me, but Anya is Serbian, so we speak Serbian.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Of course, her, yes. But I just meant the people in the gym.
In the gym, most of French people don't really speak like great English, but
enough that you can train with them.
You when you put something on the board, they understand.
Yeah. You gonna say something, Brian?
No, I was just thinking about something.
Okay. How has the community been treating you? Like when you show up to the games, are people starting to recognize you? People are warm to you. You're starting to be like, yep, that's one of the guys.
Well, wherever I go, people are always very nice to me. But in that particular box, like I came, I don't even think I competed at the games yet, and they were like, they knew who I am, and they like were just very nice. And I got a big poster of me from Pixel, and they put it on the wall.
Oh,
well,
that's cool.
At the corner where I usually train, they put my picture, and they called it Lazar's Corner. So that's
wow.
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So they've embraced you.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And when you got to Madison, who have you seen there? Have you seen any of your competitors there?
Well, I'm still not in Madison. I'm still in Cookeville, but well,
I'm a great listener, aren't I?
When I go, I'll probably.
Okay. So you're in a hotel in Cookeville.
Hotel in Cookeville, yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know.
Well, it's not really hotel. It's suites. So I have kitchen, I have fridge, I have everything I need. So it's kind of small apartment.
Okay, and when do you go?
Tomorrow morning.
And how do you go?
Plane.
And who do you go with?
Anya, Baden, Uldis, Michelle, her partner, Choi, Tyler Bailey. I don't know, maybe some all of us.
Big crew.
Guy, probably. Yeah.
And why not Rich? He drives?
No, he'll go on Sunday since their check-in is Monday, I think, for the teams.
The individuals check in Sunday, and the teams don't have to until Monday.
Yeah.
And who makes the flight arrangements? Do you guys do that, or does Mayhem have someone who does that for you?
Well, we have this awesome girl, Jen. I don't know if she's in charge of a lot of stuff. She's Mayhem, she covers a media side in a sense. She's head of Instagram, and she's also whatever you need, you go to her and it will be done. So,
who's that? What's her name?
Jennifer Fudaker something, I think.
Do you know?
I know her. Yeah. No, she's employee at Mayhem. Basically, she's always around their teams and stuff when they're training. Comes to competitions.
She's the CEO. Yeah. She's the CEO.
No. Well, I don't want to forget anybody, but there's Jen, Jake, and Rory who take care of a lot of stuff. Since I came, Jake was the most helpful person I ever saw. Whatever I need, text Jake, he will get it done also. So yeah, a lot of helpful people here.
Yeah, that's crazy, and you need that. I mean, it's a foreign land.
Yeah, when I was that's her. When I was at the games last year, the thing that struck me the most was how well treated were Mayhem athletes. Like they had their physio, they had the food arranged, they had 100 people running around them. So I was like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, media guys, media people.
Yeah, what a team. Will they send a media person with you on the plane?
I don't think so. They will drive since they have so much equipment with them. I think they will drive from Cookeville to Madison. I think tomorrow.
And Rich stays in the campground, right?
Not this year.
No.
Oh,
he's getting soft. He got old.
he has kids now, and he needs to spend some time with them, I think. And
he's always had kids. He got too many kids. How many kids does he got? Do you see the kids? They got to put the kids away during the month before the games. We got to put the kids away.
No. They're actually very, very fun kids, and when you're training, they know they need to be a little bit more further from you, but other than that, they're great. I made this story with Guy and Trice. Well, Guy took Trice's shoe and threw it out the window of the car while Rich was buying a cake for Lakeland's birthday. and Trice was alone with three of us, like me, Spencer, and Guy. And Guy started bullying Trice. He threw out the shoe outside the window. Trice started screaming, jumping all over the car. I will tell you to my dad.
Oh, he said that? That's awesome. Rich needed to come in and smash the cake on Spencer.
Well, actually, Trice stole on Guy. No, Guy was the bully, not Spencer. Spencer is a nice guy. But Trice actually told on Guy, and Rich said, like, he needs that. He needs, like, older brothers making him, like, cry and get tough. So
that's what Rich's whole childhood was. He's not going to mind that.
Yeah.
Someone had a question about one of the people at Mayhem. Do you remember what that was? Oh, you and I were talking on the phone. What was that, Brian?
It was me, but
this isn't the place. This isn't the place. Text it to me. Oh, you're like, if I see Rich, I'm gonna ask him. You're not gonna ask him. Let's have. We got Lazar here.
Sure, ask him.
Lazar, I don't remember the question.
I told Sevan last night. I think it was. I don't know if it was on the podcast or off the air afterwards.
Off the air.
That if I saw Rich, I would at the games and like check in. Before the game started, I wanted to ask him what he thought about you, Guy, and Spencer.
Oh yes. Good question.
I think he
let's rank these guys. Let's rank these guys.
I think he thinks I'm a bit crazy. Since I think he thinks I'm a bit like Haley. So
meaning you're really focused on your metabolic conditioning?
No, I think I always like need to do more.
Okay.
And whenever I ask him, like, Rich, can I add this? He's like, no, Haley. Okay. So when I talk to Facundo or Jake, which are the Mayhem coaches, whenever they tell me something, I will maybe I will still change it. But when Rich says something, I don't change it.
Give us an example of something you would change.
Today we did a ladder of clean and jerks, and we had a couple of them with 5 bar muscle ups before. So like couple of ladders, 5 bar muscle ups, 5 barbells, and I wanted to do 15 bar muscle ups, so instead of 5. And Jake came, and I'm like, Jake, can I do 15? He's like, no, but you can go for 10. Then Rich comes. I'm like, Rich, can I go for 10 bar muscle ups? No, you have games. Don't rip your hands. Like, you will not get better at bar muscle ups. Do 5. Like, I'll do 5.
So you're a good student.
Yeah, I try to be.
What is the etiquette on sharing what you see there?
I don't know. Like,
okay,
if you ask, I will answer, I think.
No. Oh, but what I guess what I mean is
there a secrecy?
No, but maybe secrecy, or are there any formal rules on what you can and can't say, or is it like, hey, if you start doing some dumb shit on your social media here, they just kick you out, and like everyone just kind of has to get in where they fit in?
I don't think so. Like, you're supposed to be you, and so I think if you're just doing you and they accept it, you're good. Like I was at the Kukul before Rogue, and I was like here for a kind of trial period, like to see if I fit with people and if people will like me and if I'm normal. So we went from there. Like they saw me, they trained with me, and just like we continue from there.
Let me give you an example.
Let
me give you a good example. You're working out during quarterfinals, and you see someone score, or it's a virtual competition, and you see someone score, and you share that score with other competitors. Would that be considered not cool?
Let's say Guy's score,
or let's say one of the girls' score.
Like I usually only share stuff with my brother and nobody else. So
yeah,
I think that's cool.
Yeah. All right.
Like, I don't want to tell anybody else.
I don't think you should. Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm wondering if there's like rules like that. Like, hey, like if you're there and you see Haley score and then you're like sharing that with like people she's competing against in Europe, that'd be some fucked up shit, right?
No.
Right. There's a code of ethics, but it's unspoken. Yeah. It's unspoken. No one's ever told you not to do it.
No, nobody told me, hey, don't share Haley's score with, I don't know who's competing with her in Europe.
Right.
Like, I know the girls, but I can't like get anyone in mind. But I will not. Like, I'm not in better relationship with any other girl than I'm like with Haley. So I'm like, no point of like.
Yeah. It was just the example. Look at Ken. Yes, Ken. Sevan has gone fishing this evening. Are you familiar with that term, fishing?
Well, like in real sense, like go.
No, not in the real. No, not in the real sense. It's like when you're fishing for information. You know, you throw a line. Okay. Yeah, you're fishing for information. Send some reactions. Go ahead, Brian.
Lazar, your worst finish last year was in the sprint. Is that something that you look at after the games and think, I need to improve my speed and agility, or is that a skill that's like it's too hard to improve enough to make a difference?
Before you answer that, can you tell us specifically the sprint you're talking about, the 550 meter run?
Yeah, 550 yard dash, something like that.
And what place did he get, Brian?
30th.
That's bad, right?
That's very bad for me.
Okay, proceed.
Oh, I was done.
No. Lazar, you answer the question now. He's asking you, can you fix that, or are you fucked? Are you just forever going to run like an elephant?
Well, immediately when the CrossFit Games were over, I found athletic coach in Serbia near me. So I live in Temerin, which is a small village in Serbia, and the closest biggest city is Novi Sad. It's like 15 kilometers away from me, and there's a nice track there, and there's this professor of he's actually professor of athleticism or whatever in faculty of sport and physical education in Serbia, in Novi Sad, and I told him like who I am, what I do, and I asked if I can train with him for like personal training sessions, and we started I think September last year, and we trained 2 sessions every week until 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And I was training with you remember that story with when Fraser told that he was getting beat by
high
15?
School kids?
Yep, I experienced the same thing. The kid actually forgot his shoes. He was running in, like, I can't say the name of of the brand, but he was running in like some basketball shoes, and he was beating me by 5 seconds on a 300-meter run. What are these kids? And yep, it was not fun, but I think it paid off. We did a lot of like agility drills, hurdles, sprinting. We went for a long sprinting intervals, like 200, 300, 400, 500, and we built really good speed. So like my time was 124, I think, or 122 at
122. Yeah,
122, and Guy's time was 115.
Correct.
I ran that same thing 114. So yeah, at least I'll be top 10. So if that comes back,
damn, good job, dude. Hey, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
In the year before, did you spend a lot of time running? It just wasn't that specific kind of running.
Yeah, I was spending all of my time running longer distances.
And I'm assuming you still do some long distance, but
not that much anymore. Like probably I spent most of the off season only training sprints. So like when semifinals came around, like after quarterfinals, I started implementing running once a week, and then like continued with sprinting.
Wow.
What did the coach think when he met you? What did he think about your athleticism?
He's like, who's this guy? He's too slow. He's too big to do this.
Yeah. Did he try to talk you out of it, or was he like, hey, what are you doing? Or like, hey, you need to lose 20 pounds, or like stop lifting weights? What did he say?
He was just confused. Like he needed to see what we are doing. So like I took my phone, because in Serbia, CrossFit is not that popular. And for somebody who's in athletics his whole life, he didn't really know anything about CrossFit. So I'm like, this is CrossFit Games. This is what I do. This is like 15 events I need to run. Maybe in the third event, maybe in the fourth, maybe in the last event. So like I will be ruined maybe before the sprint. So like we need to like work even, like I will do heavy squats at home and I will kill my legs and I will come then sprinting. So if I'm slow, you know what's happening.
So when you cut 6, 7, 8 seconds off of your 550 meter time, do you look like a totally different runner? Like when you look at the video side by side, is it totally different? Your cadence? Okay. I mean, that's insane.
He said, I'm running on my heels, which is good for longer kind of runs. But for the sprinting, you need to be a little bit more on your toes. So we needed to, we tried that also. And he was always he always reminding me of keep your face loose when you run. So don't be very angry or whatever,
tense.
Have a stance. So yeah. Just
I think that applies to a lot of other things, like rowing and biking.
Yep. Well, when I rode with my past coach, we had rowing 2K trial time, and we had a rowing coach with us, and he was telling me during that trial, don't make a grimace out of your face because you will get slower. It will go down to your body. So just keep your face loose first, and then everything else.
Sevan did a 2K row recently.
I did a what?
2K row recently.
Yeah, I got a 7. Yeah. I got a 7:49.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw some assault bike. I saw some assault bike also, 50 calories in 5 minutes? I don't know.
Oh man.
This is just a workout that I programmed for my gym. Okay. And I know Sevan, we have the Echo bike. I know Sevan uses the assault bike all the time. So I posted it and I said, who thinks Sevan can match my score on an assault bike? And then now everyone's doing it. Every day more people are doing it and tagging us, and it's awesome.
I got 80 calories and 70 calories. Just not that that's anything to brag about, but 50. Come on.
In how much time?
In 5 minutes.
80 calories, that's 15, around 15 in a minute.
I think it's 16.
Yeah.
16 a minute.
Solid.
Thank you. Better than my row? You think that's better than my row? More impressive than my row?
Kind of the same.
Same, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good. So I have balance. What are you laughing at, Souza? What are you laughing at? Lazar Đukić. I know you're past your bedtime, and I appreciate you doing this. I know you stayed up a little bit late tonight.
We're good. We're good.
We will be rooting you on. Do you have anything else, Brian, before we let him go to his sweet dreams?
No, man. Looking forward to seeing you.
I actually wanted to ask something to Sevan.
Okay, go ahead.
So after every competition, you called me on a podcast, and you didn't call me after the semifinals. Me and Anya were talking. Were you angry at me or something?
No, fuck no. I love you to death. No, great question. No. I'm overwhelmed, dude. You bugged the shit out of me. I'm even starting to use a WhatsApp a little bit more. So I look there. Do you know what it is? I'm overwhelmed. And so you and I communicate on WhatsApp, right?
Yep.
And so that's what it is. I just don't look at, okay. I'm going to text you right now. I love you. How do you spell Anya? A-N-J-A?
Yep.
Tell Anya.
His spelling is better than his pronunciation.
Okay.
For me, it's the other way around.
Oh, he said her name perfectly, though. I think he's just giving you a hard time.
You and your brother are always welcome. Man, you're easy as shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've listened to the Haley one.
Oh,
that was fun.
Listen, 500 shows. I'm bound to have one bad one. Come on. Hey, and thank God. I mean, she could have been like, I'm never going to go on that show again. She was nice enough to say at the end, I'll do it again. I was like, oh. I just wasn't myself that day.
I saw her yesterday. No, like 2 days ago when you did that. Like, that was weird.
She said that or you said that?
I said.
Oh, thanks. Please don't pour gasoline on the fire. Sousa, stop laughing. I got to redeem myself. I'm going to drink next time I have her on the show.
I'll take some. I was distracted that night also.
Maybe take the cats out of it, so it's like.
Thank you.
No
Someone goes,
no
you need
boys.
to shut up and let Brian talk. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for calling me.
I'm going to bug you extra now so that you know that I love you and I don't hate you.
Perfect.
Peace.
Thank you.
See you Sunday.
Hiller's right. I shit the bed.
I told you that the people I spoke to liked it. They liked seeing you uncomfortable.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't mind that. I like
Were
that.
you uncomfortable? Yeah, I don't know if we were uncomfortable.
He didn't deny it.
I was very uncomfortable. Like weird uncomfortable. Like I don't even know why I was uncomfortable. I shouldn't.
So
have been.
uncomfortable it made me uncomfortable.
Were you wearing the 12-inch wrist sleeves?
No,
Strap,
these
wrist
no.
protectors?
But I was just I just couldn't get into a groove with her. Like I wanted to get into a conversation with her, and we just weren't conversating. It was like I was just asking questions, and I just couldn't figure out how to lure her into a conversation.
She got going towards the end.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left, she's like, "So why do you think it's uncomfortable?" I was like, "Oh fuck." I talked to this chick's husband today in my DMs.
Oh,
Thanks
cool.
for all your hard work, guys. No problem. Elise Carr Redau.
She made a reel of the rant that I did. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at these.
Sevan, you know where I was today?
Oh yeah. Tell me. How did that go? Oh yeah, pull up Brian's
It was great.
Instagram. How'd that go?
It was amazing. I think that Christoph Horvath is like, I told him this today. I was like, if we sat down for like a half-hour coffee, I think we'd just leave 6 hours later. It's just like one of the easiest guys for me to talk to that I've ever met.
He's cool.
And we worked out a little bit too.
I'm surprised to hear that kind of though, because neither of you are chatterboxes.
These were the women that own the gym there. They invited me down, and look at that, Sevan. You see that shirt she's wearing? I tagged you in it. Have you seen it yet?
Oh shit! What's her name?
Rachel's on the left, and I feel bad. I cannot remember. Rachel was the one who reached out to me on Instagram. She talked with John Singleton and said they were working out at 1 today. So I
Goose Island CrossFit. They own the gym together?
Not 100% sure of that.
Oh, okay. I like that girl's shorts on the right. Are those camo?
I think so.
I love her shirt. Okay, so you went to Goose Island, and what state is that in? That's in Illinois?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes south of where I live in the city. And there were 5 games athletes training there, so we jumped in with them.
Okay, the guy with the coffee shirt on, that's the filmmaker.
That's Yorgos Kerovis, 2-time games athlete from Greece.
Oh, okay, fuck that up. The guy next to him in the white shirt is John Singleton.
Correct.
Okay, he's like the infamous coach from he's been around forever, super knowledgeable. He used to train Sarah Sigmund's daughter in 1854.
Yep.
The guy in the red,
Moritz Fiebig, games rookie from Germany.
No shit. On team?
No. He qualified out of Lowlands. He won the last event to get in.
Good job, Moritz.
Actually, Đukić was missed out because of what Moritz did on that workout.
Asshole, Moritz.
Immediately take it back.
Super nice guy, by the way. Had a nice conversation with him today as well.
Guy next to him, is that guy missing an arm?
He's a coach also.
Adaptive athlete? What's up with his left arm? Okay, then that's Brian Friend. He comes on the Sevan Podcast. Laura Horvat's brother.
Christoph there with no shirt on, yeah.
Yep.
Looking good.
Down in the front row on the right is
girl I coach for my gym that I took with me.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't cramp your style?
No.
Somebody to beat.
She doesn't. Actually, we tied for last. She doesn't work on Friday afternoons. I knew she had the afternoon off. I got this invite last minute. I asked her if she had 4 hours free. She goes, for what? I said, just pack to work out. And she did. And I surprised her with that.
I can't believe you. You
cool.
seem like more like a solo guy. Like, I'm not letting anyone come fuck my shit up.
She's a couple years into CrossFit. She's already better than me. She's wants to do some competition and stuff. So I thought it'd be cool for her to see what the flow of a training block is for the best athletes in the world. And that's all we were talking about on the way home. I mean, they spent 30 or 40 minutes warming up, and she thinks a 10-minute warm up is a long warm up. So.
She low maintenance. She was easy. Didn't like.
Yeah,
she didn't touch your frisbees in the car or anything.
No,
don't get them mixed up.
No, she's great. When I was talking to Christoph and John, she's just warming up and watching and taking it all in, talking to the owners. So
yeah, that's a cool experience for her.
Girl in the green is Gabriella Magawa. She doesn't do podcasts prior to the games, the week before the games, because she's stuck up. I mean, she's focused.
She's trying to win them.
Yeah, she's trying to win.
Get second, I guess.
Yeah,
she looks really good right there. By the way, that lady next to her, the Thura Helga's daughter looking chick, is something Sulik.
Solveig Sigurd's daughter.
Oh, that is a daughter.
A
Solveig Sigurd's daughter.
Daughter.
So, wow, it's weird that the daughters have such good daughters to train with, and yet they don't train. When I see them like just out in the wild, it's like a fish that jumped into the wrong stream or something. You know what I mean? Like she's in brackish water, but she's a saltwater fish. It's like, yo, you better turn back.
I lined up for the we did like an AMRAP of clean and jerks, and I loaded the bar to the same weight as them, and she was giving me a hard time. She's like, "You're doing the same weight as us?"
Like you were you able to do it?
Yeah, I got less reps than them, but I did it.
Wow, good job.
What was the weight?
155.
Oh, okay.
The girl in the gray. Oh, they're all wearing the same shoes. Just local girl.
The same shoes. That's Jacqueline Dahlstrom.
No shit.
Oh, okay. Talk about her.
That's Jacqueline Dahlstrom, second from the left on the bottom.
All gray, yeah.
Wow. And the girl on the end is she looks great. Everyone looks fucking great. Who's on the far left?
Her name's Maria. She's with Yorgos, the guy in the black shirt above her.
Okay.
They're partners.
All right. And you, that's cool. Did you whose idea was it to take that picture?
John Singleton.
Wow, good job, John. Killing it. And was it awkward at first? You're like,
I was thinking about it when you were talking to Lazar. Is that I obviously it was cool. I'm sure it was cool for Catherine to be there, but we didn't take our phones out. We didn't take pictures or videos or anything. But John was like, yeah, let's get a photo before you go.
So they went to take the photo, and you guys weren't standing out, and then they waved you in. You knew all along you were supposed to be. That's the way I would think it would be.
No.
By for the
everyone knew it. Everyone knew it was fine. Everyone was good, happy about it.
Are there more? Go ahead.
That's it. There's one picture. John's phone. He posted it and tagged everybody.
Wow. Can you go to the next picture? Like what's if you
next slide,
or pull out and let's just look at his whole Instagram for a second. Let's see this.
Okay.
That's a cool name for the that's on Brian's. Okay, that's on Brian's. Okay.
What?
Wait, where was that picture? Oh, that was in your story.
His story, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he put it in his story. I just reposted it.
How did you see anything that you were like, oh shit, Gabrielle is ready?
I mean, they're in a taper. Last year when I went up there, it was like 3 days earlier in this week, and it was a full training day, and it totally obliterated me. This was we were there for 2 hours, but the first hour was mostly a warming up. It was just like an hour of work, and not if like personally it wasn't much different than a normal training day for me, but then I know they're also came back in the evening to do another session.
I noticed in your bio there you had before we look at his 20 rep back squat with 215. By the way, that's insane. Let's look at his bio. Brian, let's move the Real Sevan Podcast up to the top, above your name even. So have it say the Real Sevan Podcast, then Brian Friend.
Sevan Podcast personality, Brian
What's the
Friend.
order it's in? I can't even see. I think it's fine.
It's totally fine.
Jim.
I'm so cool. I have no ego. I'm so humble and chill. Brian, you don't even need whatever you want to do, buddy. Just cool. Just easy. I'm easy.
It's all good.
It's all good. All right. I got a show tomorrow. Oh, my favorite show tomorrow. Live call-in show. I love waking up to a live call-in show. It's just me and Souza. No pressure.
Nice.
I just talk about how fucking racist everyone is and how much better I am than everyone. It's fucking dope.
We should do a check-in with my Jerry News comments maybe at the end of the live.
Yes.
I had a good one.
Oh, let's start the show with that tomorrow. Let's start the show with that tomorrow.
Might get to 1,000 by then.
My Instagram account has been suspended for the second time in 1 month. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Oh,
racist.
I know.
Okay, Brian, thank you for coming on. I will see you tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Are you excited about the draft show?
5 p.m. What?
Are you excited about the draft show tomorrow?
It's 5 p.m. our time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Caller, I want to go play with my kids. What could you possibly need?
Is this a show about the kids programming?
Oh, yes, it is.
Well
How can I
done.
help you? How many kids do you have?
Good. Just one.
Just yell at them. Yell at them and chase them around the house.
Does that work?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, what do you live next door to Colton?
Yeah.
I can tell. What state are you calling from?
Alabama.
Damn, you're good. That's how cool I want to be. When I see, as cool as you sound, that's how cool. When I see Brian has my name, the Real Sevan Podcast below Morning Chalk Up, I want to sound as cool as you. I just like Brian.
Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get that bumped up above the Morning Chalk Up.
It does sound like Dick Mertens.
Thank
I
you.
agree. I just want to be like Brian. You know, I think your bio could use some adjustments.
There you go.
What's up? You CrossFit?
I finally heard what you said. Maybe I'll change it.
You CrossFit?
What a guy.
No, I don't.
Oh, what are you doing?
I
Colin?
don't.
What are you listening to the show for?
I just enjoy watching your show. I love watching CrossFit. But
What
I've
can I
never
do to
really
make
got
it
into
better so I get more people who don't CrossFit? I want more people like you. How do you think I
Wait
need
till
more
after the
nudity or
games.
what? What should I do?
Nah, I don't know. You do a pretty good job. I mean, I don't really know what you could do better.
All right. Fuck. All right, dude. Well, what's your name?
Richard.
Rich. Oh, it is Dick Mertens.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Richard, I think you have healing properties. You called and I just felt like my whole like ecosystem just turn it down a notch. You're a cool dude.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like that last time I called.
Oh, good. All right. All right, everybody. I love you. Richard got the last word. We will I'll talk to you later, Richard. Wake up 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Give me a call. Everyone else, good night. Brian, wave goodbye. Souza, wave.